Sunday the 5th of June 2011. I'm down in Surrey today doing a long walk, seeing as we're late on in the year and the days are long. 16-mile Ashvale circular. I thought the rifle ranges might be closed today because of the half-term week. However, I can hear gunshot in the background, so shouldn't be a problem though, because I don't envisage getting to the ranges before 4:30 when it should be safe to cross. It's a bit of a grey day, and it's just started to spit with rain, which wasn't forecast. That wasn't forecast until later tonight. Anyway, better press on. It's now 11:15, so plenty of time to hopefully complete approximately 16 miles. A few minutes in and some views of an area called Great Bottom Flash. Gunshot sound in the background there. Would add that this is Freewalk 96. Pretty handy that I'm in woods at the moment because it's still spitting with rain, so that limits the amount of recording I can do, unfortunately. Quite a tall yellow flower there in the it's like some kind of bulrush. Walking's pretty level as described in the text. Typical heathland woodland already, pines and birch. A small wooden bridge after 300 metres mentioned in the text. Rhododendron there. Probably the noisiest walk I've been on for a while. All this gunshot over there. Just past a group of soldiers practicing over there. Now following the perimeter fence. Red flags are up. Self-explanatory. Walking beside the Basingstoke Canal with the Swan pub over there in the distance. Squirrel's taking his life in his hands, doing acrobatics just above the water. Still plenty of cow parsley about. Still plenty of woodland walking. Point 2 of the text. Just about to turn right at the junction marked by the 3 plastic cabling signs. Still dripping with rain a little bit, but nothing to worry about. Following this track all the way down to the A323. Some lovely fresh greens in here at the moment. Plenty of bird song. And the omnipresent sound of rifle fire in the background. The potentially very muddy footpath beside the house called Little Orchard is absolutely bone dry. Not a great deal of water in that little brook there either. former railway line to Tongham, closed in '61. Now a recreational facility. Okay, now walking along the old rail bed, and I'm stood in front of what was once Ash Green Station. Information board there telling us about the damage caused once again by Mr. Beeching. Closed to passengers in '37 and freight in 1960. Now owned and managed by Guildford Borough Council. Still remnants there of what would have been the old platform. Evidence there of the former rail bed sleepers. And an interesting cycle route name here. Surrey Cycle Routes. Christmas Pie Route. Guildford to Farnham Trail. Okay, we turn off a sharp left here into Bin Wood. Just before that metal barrier there. The view back from Poyle Road in section 4 of the text. Scenery's changed a bit now. Still spitting with rain though. Coming up 1 o'clock now. Small wooden gate opposite Poyle Farm. Public footpath sign down on its side. Continuing on through this little wood. I'm not sure if that fox is asleep or dead. Pretty certain it would have cleared off if it had heard me. Do get to see some amazing things in the countryside, but they're usually dead. Yep, that's dead. Can't be that long ago though. Hasn't decomposed too badly. And that's where it's come from. Over in that den there. Right, just crossed the noisy A31. The Hogs back, as you can hear in the background. Now following this footpath downhill. Point 5 of the text. Some lovely crimson coloured flowers here. Not sure what they are. But also everywhere on the floor at the moment is this white coloured stuff. Example of it there. Great nest liner if it had been out earlier in the season. A bit late now though. Just on the fringes of yep, green woodpecker. Just on the fringes of Putnam. Interesting. It's obviously permissive path, well, public footpath actually, through someone's garden there. Still hear the hum of the A31 in the distance. Starting to get a bit hilly now. God, I thought I'd left that behind this morning. Can't get away from the damn place. Obviously the name of the estate has this lovely big garden. Section 6 of the text, and I've just joined up with the North Downs Way. en route to Putnam. Rain's getting a bit heavier now. Annoying. That's the woodland known as Old Warren apparently. Typical sandy soil of this region. Following the North Downs Way now for approximately 3 miles, 5 kilometres. Still the M.O.D A31 in the distance. Not sure what's going on there, but someone's building, could be for a film set judging by the amount of vehicles around. But looks like they're building an old English straw building there. The outhouse or the outbuilding's on stilts. It's obviously under construction. The North Downs Way descending into Totford Wood. Another gathering of that bell-shaped plant. We have of course just left the Hampton estate. And I'm stood here by the gatehouse, heading down that way. And below me it looks like I was right. That building is being erected for a film. Just looked a bit artificial for some reason. This stony lane leading up to Putnam Common is how carts and people would have travelled years ago. Very traditional footpath this. The fern-clad Puttenham Common. Pretty sure there's got to be adders around here, but I've yet to see one. Some lovely views over to the left from Putnam Common, albeit that the rain's coming down heavier now. Probably hear it in the background, along with that skylark. This really is a delightful section. Ferns on either side, 10-12 foot above me. Honeysuckle or woodbine there. Just a shame about this drizzle. Much needed though. More fine views over on the left towards the A31. North Downs Way has now become a tarmac surfaced track. Very pleasant tunnel it is. 2:15 now, so it's going to be a late lunch. About 500 metres to go I think. There's a suggested lunchtime stop. The Good Intent. And I make this about 9 miles into the walk. It's 2:30 now. St John the Baptist Church, Putnam. That's going to provide my lunchtime stop. As I say, 2:30. Well, 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 if you excuse the pun. There's the village well, discovered in 1972. last used in 17 some, well, can't read the date unfortunately. Yep, long drop down. So as it's drizzling outside, unfortunately, I'll make use of the facilities in this old storm porch, which has clearly been refurbished. 5 hours after last eating, quite hungry. Okay, the church from another angle. As you can see, lunch has been had at 3 o'clock. Luckily for me, in that short half an hour, the rain stopped. Apparently somewhere opposite the church here is the YHA camping barn at Putnam. Clearly here there's some connection with blackbirds, I think. Okay, not long past the house called Questers mentioned in the text, and we're now on familiar territory because I've walked this section of the North Downs Way before when I walked from Wanborough, I think it was, to Godalming or something like that. Anyway, rain's still coming down, so lucky I'm inside this wood. Well, just as we approach the busy A3 and more open country, the rain has increased. So much so that I've had to put my waterproof on. Not often I have to do that, because I usually select my walks accordingly. Weathermen have got it completely wrong today. This wasn't meant to come down till this evening. Anyway, restricts my filming, so probably won't get much more done now. Well, someone's dream home never quite materialised here. Lovely view they would have had. On a clear day anyway. Just about to hit the A31 in 100 metres. So more noise. So you've got the busy A31 just behind me, which I've just crossed. And this lovely view on my way down to Chalk Pit Cottages. Well, a view would be even better if it wasn't raining, but there you go. The scenery around section 9, coming up to the railway crossing. Still raining quite heavily, so videoing is at a minimum at the moment. It's a shame. Just approaching Wildfields Farm to cross the railway line, and I encounter this climbing frame encouraging the wild rose to grow over the footpath. Very interesting, first time I've seen that on my walks. Lovely wild rose there. Wonder who went to that trouble, because when, you know, miles from anywhere. Well, there's a warning for you. However, in the pen, something a bit more beastly than a pig. Whoa, look at him. And his other half. Jesus. Right, just crossed the rail line. Now about to enter Broadstreet Common. Easy walking towards Wood Street Village Green. Still in the middle of Broadstreet Common. and we're back on that oddly named Christmas pie route. Apparently it's named after a village, Christmas Pie. Nothing to do with Christmas. Well, the village name might be, but this path isn't. Following the potentially very muddy horse byway to Biles Lane, but like everything else at the moment, absolutely bone dry, despite today's little bit of drizzle. Really is very pleasant walking across this Broadstreet Common. A few walkers about, but obviously that's what you get on a Sunday afternoon. Not as busy as it could be though. Delightful. Bit of information there advising that the cows were returned in January 2011 after an absence of 4 decades to forage the commons. At the moment all I see over there is somebody's horse. Now raining very heavily, about 5:15, and I'm just passing Normandy Pond over there. Stood on the footbridge. What a grey old day. Would be quite pleasant on a sunnier day, I'm sure. You can see how heavy it's raining. Right, it's 6:15. Red flags are down, but it's just raining too heavily. Can't be bothered with continuing in this. So I'm going to take the path to the left and get down to Ash. So apologies for that. Nothing to see really anyway, because it's too cloud level's too low. Okay, so it's 6:30. Now back at Ash for a very wet finale. For quite what could be an interesting walk. So that's Freewalk 96, almost completed due to bad weather. I was unable to finish it at Ashvale, but as it transpires it's going to take me as long to get home from here as it would do from Ashvale, so nothing gained.